It looks like the era of political instability in Israel is finally coming to a halt. After 4 general elections in 3 years, Israel has re-elected Bibi to lead the country with a resounding victory. Benjamin Netanyahu's party Likud, which is also known as the National Liberal Movement, is coming to back the Knesset, and with this, the geopolitical situation around Israel and across the globe is also poised to change. Netanyahu is the man who hates the current Grandmaster of the West, Joe Biden. So, how exactly the position of Israel is going to change in the future? Let's figure out. Hello and welcome to TFI Global, the foreign affairs and geopolitical analysis arm of TFI Media Group. I'm your host Manu. Let's begin. On 1st November 2022, Israelis voted for the fourth time to elect 120 members of the Israeli Knesset. Following the dissolution of the Knesset, and now as the elections have concluded, the results have started to come. And the current trends say Benjamin Bibi Netanyahu is poised to return as Prime Minister of Israel. The figures show that Benjamin Netanyahu-led coalition would win around 61 to 62 out of the 120 seats. It is inapparent to note that more than 89% of the ballots have been counted so far, and projections are saying that the coalition would get around 65 to 68 seats. With this, the political deadlock in Israel is finally over. Yair Lapid and Naftali Bennett believed that Israel had moved out of the Netanyahu era. However, they were mistaken. Netanyahu continued his campaign against the Israeli government as the leader of the opposition. And in the midst of all this, Yair Lapid did everything in his race to get into the good books of the Democrats-ruled United States. The ex-PM Lapid from the very first day was skeptical of peace attempts between Ukraine and Russia and hence met political doom. Outgoing Prime Minister Yair Lapid had condemned Russia's war against Ukraine, which was the first such statement from an Israeli Prime Minister ever against Russia in the current times. Furthermore, Lapid even softens his tone on the West Bank issue. But with Netanyahu, things could go back to where they were. Unquestionably, Israel and US are considered allies, but their relations had strained last year because Netanyahu and Joe Biden were not on the same page on several contentious issues. Netanyahu had blasted even Biden for pressuring him to stop attacking Gaza. Moreover, last year, 8 Democrats voted against funding for the replenishment of Israel's anti-missile Iron Dome defense system. So one could easily understand that Democrats are no great fan of Bibi, and even Bibi follows a no-love-lost relation with Democrats. But a Netanyahu victory would be good news for Moscow, as Putin would find a lost friend again. Netanyahu had long argued that only because of his personal relations with Putin, Israel kept away from clashing with Russia in Syria, where both their militaries operate. Putin told me that were it not for a relationship, we could have found ourselves in the midst of a military crash. Only because we meet every few months has this been avoided, Netanyahu said in an interview with Army Radio in 2019. Netanyahu kept a pragmatic approach against Russia and never condemned Russia's aggression against Ukraine. Additionally, Netanyahu's re-election comes at a time when the Biden administration is facing growing criticism from the Gulf. And as a result, the anti-US bloc in the Middle East, comprising UAE, Saudi and Russia, is strengthening. For those unaware, after losing power, Netanyahu, while promising Putin, said, "I'll be back soon." And here we are, he is back. The Israeli people were suffering greatly as a result of Lapid and Bennett's abject failure to carry on their predecessors' foreign policy. Israel's geopolitical stance is about to turn again, and it is going to impact the position of Biden-led US in the Middle East very dangerously. Jerusalem is set to return to the path it had taken for the last 12 years under Netanyahu. Though his re-election could have a negative impact on the Biden administration and other Western pawns, good old days for the Israelis are expected to be back.